Janet had spent the last 5 years at home raising her two young children, and now she was stepping into a brand new chapter, her first day as a teaching assistant. Excitement, nerves, and self doubt all swirled together as she walked through the school gates, clutching her bag tightly. Would she remember everything? Would the children listen to her? What if she got something wrong? Join Janet as she navigates the whirlwind of emotions that come with stepping into a TA role for the very first time. If you're about to start your own TA journey or simply want to relive those first day nerves, this video is for you. Hello, fabulous TAs. I'm Lauren Reesner. I was a TA one-to-one and HLTA for 20 years, and I even did 6 weeks of teacher training, but I absolutely hated it. And now I create videos that answer all your TA questions. So if you want to learn more about being a TA, growing confidence, cope with interviews, and all manner of other TA related stuff, start right now by subscribing to my channel. Becoming a teaching assistant is an exciting yet nerve-wracking experience. For many, it's a career change or a return to work after time away, just like Janet, who decided to take on the role after years of being a full-time mum. The first day can feel overwhelming, so many new faces, unfamiliar routines, and that constant feeling of, am I doing this right? But the good news, every TA goes through this, and by the end of the day, things start to feel just a little bit better. So let's follow Janet through her first day and see what she learns along the way. I mean, I remember one first day, it was at a special school, and I walked down the corridor to go home with a really thwacking headache. It was really awful. So I would advise that you take some painkillers, whatever you're able to take them with you. Because if that headache started sort of mid-afternoon, if I'd taken something, obviously you have to make sure they're safe. Don't keep them away from the children, obviously. But if I'd been able to take some medication, I wouldn't have had such an awful headache when I got home. As Janet approached the school office, her heart pounded. She took a deep breath and stepped inside, where the receptionist greeted her with a warm smile. You must be Janet, welcome. Here's your lanyard. Janet fastened it around her neck, suddenly feeling official. She was shown the staff sign-in book, scribbling her name with slightly shaky hands before being led down the corridor to her assigned classroom. Yes, so schools will have either have a signing in book or it will be done electronically. So be prepared to do that. Some schools take your phone. I think it's debatable as to whether they should do that. I think most schools don't now. Some will. The special school that I worked in, you had to lock your phones away, and also at a primary school that I worked in, we had phone safe. So be prepared to be shown one of them. Generally, you find them in a classroom or in the staff room. The classroom was a lively space, colourful displays, tiny chairs, and the faint smell of crayons in the air. The class teacher, Mrs. Patel, introduced herself warmly. It's great to have you here, Janet. It will ease you in today. Just take your time observing, and I'll let you know when to step in. It's great if a teacher actually looks up and speaks to you as soon as you walk in. I've found that, sometimes you've got teachers who are, really busy. They're really involved in what they're doing, and they're trying to get something done before the day starts. If that's the case, just, quietly put your bag down and, if you can, go and make yourself a coffee. Ask the teacher if they want one. These days, we're not allowed to carry around mugs of coffee, so you'll have to have something in one of those sealed cups that keep your coffee or your tea warm. Asking the teacher if they would like a drink always goes down really well. So what I'm saying is don't feel bad if they're absorbed in something. Imagine what it's like. They've got to get this thing done before 30 kids come in. So don't feel bad about that. Just try and make yourself useful. The morning passed in a blur. Janet spent time supporting small groups with their writing, encouraging a quiet child to speak up during a discussion, and helping to settle a child who was struggling to sit still. She had moments of success, like when a little boy beamed at her after she praised his effort, and moments of doubt when she wasn't sure how to respond to a child refusing to do their work. And that's exactly how it will be. Some children are just, they're a delight and they're at ease in the classroom. Other children are not at ease in the classroom. They don't want to do the work. So in that instance, don't do anything that upsets them. Just be there to help. You will gradually get to know the children and know how far you can push a child as the days and weeks go by. But initially, don't feel like you have to come in as an authority. The children don't know you. So just be there as in a supporting role, helping children when they're feeling unsettled. By lunchtime, Janet was exhausted. She hesitated outside the staff room, unsure whether to step in. Everyone will already know each other, she thought to herself. What if I sit in someone else's place? Taking a deep breath, she walked in and was relieved when another TA smiled and waved her over. Conversations about weekend plans, lesson ideas, and funny classroom moments filled the room, and Janet felt a little more easier. I think that first time going into the staff room is always nerve wracking, but generally, staff rooms are welcoming places. And, if you have to, just pull up a chair and say, is it all right if I sit here? I'm new. Just introduce yourself, and people will generally be happy to chat to you. The afternoon flew by. A child had a meltdown, and Janet wasn't sure whether to step in or let the teacher handle it. She watched, learning how the teacher de escalated the situation. There was also a sweet moment when a child proudly showed her a drawing they had made just for her. By the time the school day ended, Janet felt a mixture of exhaustion and accomplishment. Yeah, I think Janet was sensible to let the teacher deal with the meltdown, because meltdowns can be very, tricky. Sometimes the whole classroom has to be evacuated if a child is throwing stuff and generally, being unsafe. So to watch the teacher handle that was probably the best idea. It sounds like Janet's day has been a mixture of things, which is generally how it is. No 2 days are the same, I have to say. And as she signed out, that's because that's something you have to do as well. You have to sign in, you have to sign out. The head teacher walked past. How was your first day? She asked. Janet smiled. A bit overwhelming, but I think I survived. And that will be how you will feel. You'll think you have survived. And you'll probably be very glad to get in your car or get on the bus or walk home and just have a few hours away from it. Don't feel bad if you feel like that. That's quite normal. So that was Janet's first day. But what about yours? Are you just starting out as a TA? Here's what you can do if you're stepping into the first TA role, just like Janet. Here are a few tips to make your first day and week go smoothly. Arrive early and observe. Give yourself time to settle in before the school day begins. Take a moment to observe how things run. You don't have to know everything straight away. Often there'll be another TA, just sort of, watch what she's doing or he's doing. If the teacher has time, just ask the teacher, what is it you'd like me to do? Ask questions. No one expects you to be an expert. If you're unsure about a routine or how to support a child, ask the teacher or another TA. I actually have a great resource that will help you with this. Build relationships. Say hello to other staff members, be friendly in the staff room, and start getting to know the children's names, because it makes a big difference. And I think when people see you making that effort, because some, other members of staff, they can be a bit strange. You often have to be the one to make the first move, to introduce yourself, because people, everyone's different, and some people are a little bit wary of a new of a new face and not quite sure how to how to go about sort of introducing themselves. So you go ahead and do it. Be prepared for anything. Some days will be calm, others chaotic. Go with the flow, stay flexible, and don't be too hard on yourself. Yeah, you can have days where the routine is the normal routine, and the children know the routine and everything's fine. But maybe the next day the photographer will be in, and all the classes will be going to the hall to have their photographs taken. That can be a very noisy environment. So just watch what other TAs are doing, what the teachers are doing, and just give it a go, but don't be too hard on yourself. Give yourself time. Feeling overwhelmed is completely normal. It takes time to find your feet. So be patient with yourself. Yeah, absolutely. It can, a very wise teacher told me that, it probably would take the whole of the academic year for me to feel as though I'd experienced most things in school. And she was absolutely right. But the great thing is, time goes very, very quickly in school. Before you know it, your first week will be over, then the first half term, then the first term. And before you know it, you will have been there for a whole year. So your first day as a TA will be full of ups and downs, but each day gets a little easier. Like Janet, you'll leave with new experiences, growing confidence, and before you know it, you'll feel like part of the team. And to help you, I've created a free PDF that has 10 questions a new TA can ask the class teacher, and 10 questions you can ask a fellow TA. If you'd like it, type "free PDF please" in the comments below. And you will find more problem solving videos here.